So I just want to preface my story by saying I went to a very small, very liberal private arts high school that had a really extensive outdoor education program. So we got sent on a lot of weird 3 to 4 day long camping trips to bizarre places along the East Coast. Like, if you guys know Assateague, it's a weird sandy beach place with a bunch of horses. We got sent there for a week to do a biology project. But in my freshman year of high school, my grade was divided up into 3 groups and sent to 3 different islands in the Chesapeake Bay. Kind of sounds like the Hunger Games, but it was a science project. We pretty much were just supposed to cart around the Chesapeake Bay and collect like samples of like crabs and shrimps and like see what the ecosystem was of our environment or whatever. So we were all split up into these separate islands. I was on Fox Island, which was literally just a house above the water. I thought all the other islands were like that, but they weren't. They were real islands. So halfway through the trip, we got sent to the biggest island, Port Isabel, where all of like my friends were. So we get there, and it's like a huge island, and I was like, what the hell? I thought everyone was in these like weird little Chesapeake Bay houses this whole time. Like, this is awesome. So I start running around Port Isabel, and I'm like seeing all my friends that I haven't seen in like 2 or 3 days, and I've been living in this weird house, and I'm just on an island in the middle of nowhere, and my friends are all wearing like ripped up clothes and have bamboo sticks and stuff. It's very much like a Survivor, like reality TV show or something. So I'm running around, I see my friend Ben Hearn, and I'm like, what's up, Ben? Start running, all my friends are popping up out of the trees. I see Con Sweetman pop up out of the trees. He's got a pretty sharp looking piece of bamboo. So kind of as a joke, but kind of also seriously scared, I start running away from Con, and we're in this big bamboo patch, and I took a wrong step and I tripped, and when I hit the ground there was a small piece of bamboo that had been snapped at the bottom of the base, and it went 2.5 inches into my kneecap. There's a scar right there, just to validate the story's truth. But I didn't know what happened. I just hit the ground and I was filled with adrenaline, and I was like, Ben, I think something's wrong. So I pull up my sweatpant and there's just blood all over my entire leg. Ben Herndon just jumps back, and I'm like, well, go get a teacher or something. Like, get out of here. What are you doing? So he starts running, gets a teacher, comes back. They kind of roll their eyes because, unfortunately, I kind of have a habit of hurting myself extremely on class field trips. In 7th grade, I fell out of a ski lift, 33 feet, broke both my arms on a class field trip. So I'm that kid. That's fine. So they roll their eyes, and I'm a good sport about it. I was like, yeah, my leg's bleeding. I had bamboo through it, whatever. Let's get on this crab boat and find a hospital. So they like dump me on this crab boat that we've been covering with crabs and shrimp all year, and I'm just like bleeding on it. And then they take me to the closest hospital, which is another island on the Chesapeake Bay called Tangiers Island. And Tangiers Island is a really, really, really weird place. It's kind of isolated from the rest of the world. Kind of feels like you're in the 1940s. There's no cars on the island, and everyone there is over the age of 65. And they speak a weird language. Like, they say phone box instead of telephone. Like, it's like really weird, middle of nowhere. Cats outnumber people on the island 6 to 1. So I get off the crab boat and I'm loaded into the medical golf cart, and there's just cats everywhere I look, and there's just 2 old women driving, chatting away in this weird dialect, and I'm just bleeding still, and my teachers, for some reason, only one came with me, so I was like, alright, what's going on? They take me to the Tangiers Island Hospital, which is smaller than this room. It's like a 10 by 10 shack pretty much, with like a hole in the ceiling. And I'm in there, and the woman, she's never really seen a cut that big before. She's not really a real doctor. So she pulls out the helpful binder and starts reading on how to stitch open my leg, and a cat walks in the hospital room. So I'm just like, where the hell am I right now? She stitches up my leg, 18 stitches to the dome. The bleeding stops, and get back in the crab boat, make my way back to Fox Island, and I spend the rest of the trip just lying on the couch reading books. I remember the next day after that all the kids were supposed to go on an expedition called marsh mucking, where you like go into the swamp pretty much, and you like kind of go up to here in the mud grabbing critters or whatever, and I didn't get to go marsh mucking because I had a huge hole blasted in my left leg by a piece of bamboo. That's my story.